Good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining us. 6 a.m. on this Monday. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. Glad you're starting your week with us here on CBS 8. It is going to be a warm next few days.
Wow.
Meteorologist Evan Irani giving us a check of that forecast after a hot weekend.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Well, wrapped up a beautiful weekend, sunshine out
Yeah.
there all weekend long, barely any clouds in sight. We even had a little bit of offshore flow that helped to keep those clouds at bay in the morning. And here's what we have for this afternoon. No changes in sight, holding on to a lot of sunshine and warmth out there for today through Thursday. That's going to be the stretch where we have those summer-like conditions on hand. And then by the time we get to the weekend, cooler temperatures, cloudier skies in store. Coming up, we'll talk about what to expect. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Evan. And now this morning, the search is still on for the person who shot and killed a man at a community park
in Lemon Grove. I'll take it for you. It's happened yesterday afternoon, and bless you. CBS 8's Jenny Day live outside San Diego County Sheriff's Department headquarters with everything we know about this right now. Good morning.
Yeah, Eric, Netta, good morning to both of you. Unfortunately, the suspect's description in this case is incredibly vague. A man, 5'5", thin build, last seen wearing a light blue sweater, dark jeans, and a backpack. So we know that is not helpful. But because this did happen in broad daylight around 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, the Sheriff's Homicide Unit is certainly hoping that someone will come forward with any information that leads to an arrest. Again, that gunfire erupted at Kunkel Park on Lemon Grove Way around 12:45 yesterday afternoon. Deputies arrived within a matter of minutes and tell us they found a Hispanic man in his 50s who had been shot in the chest lying next to a park bench. He remarkably was conscious but unresponsive when law enforcement got there, so efforts of course were made to save his life, but he did die soon after at the hospital. We're told the suspect and the victim in this case did know each other, and neighbors we spoke to say they've really been concerned about criminal activity at this very park for years now, and that they did hear some kind of physical altercation before shots were fired.
There was 2 shots that I heard, and then from that point, me and my son started looking out the window, and there was chaos erupting.
Yeah, scary, no doubt about it. This mom says she doesn't even allow her son to go directly across the street to play basketball at their own local park. So many neighbors are calling for increased patrols and better street lighting in and around that park. You can be sure homicide investigators are continuing to look into what led up to this deadly attack. Also, if you have any information at all, certainly call the Sheriff's Department. You can remain anonymous by going through Crime Stoppers. For now, we are live this morning from the Sheriff's headquarters. Jenny Day, CBS 8.
Jenny, thanks for the latest there. This morning, Pope Francis still in critical condition at a Rome hospital 10 days after he was admitted for pneumonia and a lung infection. Blood tests show early kidney failure. He has been given blood and is receiving high-flow oxygen through his nose. The Vatican put out a statement this morning saying, quote, the Pope has slept and is resting. They add he remains alert and well-oriented. Prayers, of course, are pouring in from across the world. Here in San Diego, we talked with Reverend Ronald Cochran at St. Joseph Cathedral.
We pray for the Pope anyway during the Mass, but there's a special prayer for him right now as he's at this stage in his life. And for us, it's God's will. Yeah, we'd like him to recover, but ultimately it's God's will, and he's just done a great job for the Church.
Pope Francis is widely considered a progressive figure within the Catholic Church, from his outspoken stance on social justice to his welcoming attitude toward LGBTQ+ people. He also led the way for women to take on more leadership roles in the Church.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is preparing to bring back Title 42. This would allow border officials to quickly deport migrants seeking asylum at the border over what the U.S. would call public health risk. The first Trump administration used Title 42 in 2020. That was during the COVID pandemic, and the Biden administration kept it until it expired in 2023. It is unclear when it could take effect again. This morning, we're also learning the Coast Guard has been helping the Department of Homeland Security with deportation efforts. The Coast Guard's San Diego office says last week the agency flew migrants to designated locations in Texas and California, where they will be flown out of the country. We previously reported MCIS Miramar is one of the military bases where these deportation flights originated from.
Thousands of federal workers have until tonight to respond to an email asking them to list 5 things they did at work last week. Billionaire Elon Musk, who oversees the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, posted on X, quote, "Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation." But multiple agency heads have told their employees not to comply. All this as USAID announced most of their workforce has been placed on administrative leave. Today, a San Diego County leader will address immediate impacts of federal funding freezes. According to acting chair of the County Board of Supervisors, Tara Lawson-Remer, the funding freeze is already having an impact on San Diego. That includes funding for low-income housing, FEMA disaster relief, public safety, and health services. Lawson-Remer says she will outline the current situation and the next steps in protecting these critical services.
120 miles from San Diego to LA. Oh, it's given away. What a chance! The first goal for San Diego FC!
Oh, yeah, there they go. Big smiles right there. An awesome start to San Diego Football Club's inaugural season. This morning, the team celebrating its first ever win in its first ever match, shutting out the LA Galaxy.
Anders Dreyer scored both goals in the team's 2-0 win in Los Angeles yesterday. San Diego FC is the 10th club to join MLS since 2017, but it's only the 3rd to win its debut match.
Said from the beginning, we're here to win. How we win and who we win with matters. So the tone was set from day one. This is just a step in the direction of where we want to go.
The team's home opener is this Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. Meantime, fans packed the official watch party at Mavericks in Pacific Beach last night. CBS 8's Alex Lai was there.
Every single person in this room hoping for one thing. A goal. The soccer team made its debut, but so did its supporters. True fans say it's about time.
I've been saying as a kid that we need a team in San Diego.
It's time MLS has come to San Diego and we're ready to support. That's so exciting. I think we've been waiting for this day for years.
A sea of navy, many people decked out in the new team's jerseys or sporting their logo on a hat.
Yeah, I've got my shirt, I've got my hat, and I've got my scarf.
SDFC is now the only other major league team in San Diego besides the Padres.
Lost the Chargers, and this is hopefully will fill the void a little bit with the soccer team.
And San Diego is excited to have another reason to celebrate the city.
Feels like about time. I know San Diego is like a great community, a lot of pride in the city, and it's great. It's a great soccer town too.
Seeing all the soccer culture just around the city and the area, I think having the team in the best league in the country is probably one of the best things to take the city forward.
Securing the game with a 2-0 win.
First one in the books. We beat LA, and let's see what the season looks like.
Alex Lai, CBS 8.
Yeah, first wins in the
Wow,
books here.
what a turnout, too.
Right.
And that was a watch party.
I know, right. That's
just imagine what Snapdragon Stadium
home
like.
game opener this weekend.
Saturday.
Could be big.
Not going to be raining.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Saturday looks to be a dry day.
Okay,
Sunday, on the other hand, does look a little wet.
Okay.
The thing that we have to keep in mind is that all these storms tend to fizzle out as they make their way to San Diego. So we're not expecting it to be much, but it will really switch up the weather pattern that we're in right now, which has been warm, dry, sunny. I mean, when we're looking at temperatures 20 degrees warmer than normal, and then we swing to 5 degrees cooler than normal through the weekend, that's a 25-degree temperature change. That's going to be absolutely noticeable out there. But I say let's focus in on what we have on hand here and now. That is sunshine, that is warmth. Live look outside shows that there's the sun peeking through up toward the tops of the mountains there. A little bit of pink beaming on down. We do not have as much in terms of cloud cover right now, and that is because of the ridge of high pressure that's overhead. We're at 50 degrees, some spots inland in the upper 40s. Take a look at where your afternoon highs are expected to be. Santee and El Cajon, 83 this afternoon. Again, countywide sunshine expected. 62 in La Jolla, 73 in San Diego. You make it all the way down to the international border. Look at San Ysidro, 81 this afternoon. It is going to be warm out there regardless of which of the valley floors you're at. Even along the coastline, 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average. Great beach days out there. 73 for Oceanside and Carlsbad, 77 in San Marcos, 83 in Ramona. So this trend of warmer than normal temperatures, summer-like conditions persist through Thursday as we reach our peak. Looks like Wednesday, Thursday will be the warmest of temperatures with some offshore Santa Ana winds. Then that trough of low pressure starts to slide in. It's one of two troughs. Slides our temperatures back down to average. Second trough of low pressure comes in for the end of the weekend into early next week, and that'll sink our temperatures even further and help to bring in that small chance for rain in the forecast. But again, as we get closer to the end of the week, we'll be able to kind of fine-tune those models and talk about whether or not that will actually lead to any notable rainfall. Let's check in on your traffic conditions out there. So far, we have 2 crashes to take you to. Coronado Bridge midspan, I will say, that's starting to slow down. No crashes there, but we'll take you to what we have here, and a third one that you see just popping up. First one toward the bottom of your screen, crash on the 5 northbound. This is at Tecolote Road and Claremont Drive, already causing some delays on the northbound lanes of the 5. Second one to mention is over on the 805. We have the right-hand shoulder blocked and left-hand shoulder blocked with a crash on the northbound lanes of the 805 at Noble Road. We also just saw that new crash just pop up on the 5. That's toward the left-hand side of your screen. Again, CHP on scene at all of these, but only the one toward the bottom of your screen there. Already starting to see that stop and go traffic, which means we could have some lanes blocked on the 5 itself. We'll check in with CHP, see what the latest is, check in with you all in just a bit. In the meantime, border wait time, 65 minutes at San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry going to take you a little bit longer, 90 minutes, about an hour and a half in total.